Hey guys, this time we travel to Sesimbra to meet Francisco and Inês and sail Mother Goose. Sesimbra is a small coastal town less than an hour's distance from Lisbon. With a beautiful beach, a small marina and fishing port, as well as plenty of restaurants, it's well worth the visit. Francisco got hold of a small rib, so he will be doing the filming this time around. Now, back to Mother Goose. Inês was having some trouble sailing her on a particular tack, so she invited me to come and try it. After a few adjustments to the yard and bleater, we got a tow out of the marina. As soon as we got a breeze, we raised sail, and off we went into open water. This is a bit different from sailing the estuary. Here, we were on the Atlantic Ocean, and if we kept sailing straight, we could go all the way to Africa. Since we were sheltered by the hills, Luis towed one of the laser cascais until he found some wind, and then came back for the other ones. But we were now moving along, so we decided to just keep sailing. Not that much wind at all, but what a beautiful autumn's day. Despite the low wind conditions, the Goose was still keeping up with the lasers. I am sitting a bit too far forward though, but I didn't want to restrict the tiller extension's movement so that she could concentrate more on sailing and less in not hitting me with it. And what a joy it is to sail this little skiff in open water. It doesn't care about the swell, it is so stable that you can relax and just enjoy the moment. You can see that as the gust hits us, the laser would heal immediately, while the Goose, well, we could be having a beer. It's just that stable. I'm pretty sure that if the wind picked up, the Goose would smoke the lasers. I guess we will have to put that to the test some other day. Now, on this tack, Inês was having some difficulties, and that's why I came here to see if I could help her. Let me try to explain this. After tacking, she was letting the boat bear away from the wind, and that's fine, right after tacking, so that the boat can gain some speed and then you can point higher. But as the boat slowed down too much, due to the lack of wind and or swell combination, it would also bear away, and here is where she was struggling. When the wind picked up a bit, she had no problem and she could barely feel the lee help. But with low wind, she would bear weight for too long and then try to compensate too much to the point of almost luffing the sail. So the boat would again slow down and we just kept sailing in a sort of zigzag. You can see how far upwind those lasers were at this stage. On this tack, the boat behaves differently. It's well balanced and she has no trouble sailing it. And you can see that she did well and actually got close to the lasers again. But on this tack, the wind got weaker and the zigzag returned, so we fell behind again. Inês asked me to try and fill the boat. I did sit further back, although it was not too comfortable since my legs were now under the tiller, but this balanced the boat a bit more and kept the bow off the water. So, when going slow, the boat does want to bear away, and the yard and boom are already as far back as they can go. But by gently working that tiller and also by anticipating the swell effect on the boat, one can keep the boat sailing straight. Not as easy as on the other tack though. And we were chasing the lasers again. The Goose really had no trouble sailing these waters, a lot easier than the steep chop of the estuary. And now the last leg, and although on this tack, we still wanted to get those lasers before they got back to the marina. But we got distracted by some visitors. Okay, back to sailing. We hadn't given up yet. So what did I take from all this? Well, just like on my Goose, there is a bit of lee helm present here. It is worse when going slow, and the swell action in this case made it harder to compensate. In good wind, you can barely notice it. Also, the tiller is very responsive, so corrections need to be small. I think Inês was a bit heavy-handed on the tiller, and that didn't help. I do intend to open the deck to make use of the second mast position on my Goose, bringing the sail further aft, and I advise Francisco to do the same on Mother Goose. That should get rid of the lee helm and make it easier for Inês. And I know you guys are waiting on a video comparing both skiffs, but once again, there was no time to do it. Sorry for that, guys. Okay, I guess we'll have to settle for an honorable third place. See you soon.